Hey everybody, welcome to Board Online, Board Offline. Today we have the second part in our top 40 best games of all time. So this will be number 30 through 21. Now, if you missed it last time, I did go over what a few stats real quick, so I'll just repeat those for you real quick. This list is based off of 1,717 plays of 224 different games, which is a total of about 1,482 hours. So that gives you an idea of what I'm pulling from here. When I have these lists, I always try to keep it in the top 20% of what I've played. So like I said, 224 games is a little bit less than the top 20%. So we're going to get right into this list. Before we do, I want to mention our sponsor, Board Game Co. This is a great website where you can buy, sell, and trade games. They have a great selection of games to choose from. If you're just looking to build out your collection, just need to get more games, they have what you're looking for almost for sure. Alex does a great job of keeping his inventory up to date. He's very, very educated on Kickstarter, what's going to be hot, what's not going to be hot. He really does a good job of keeping the stock up to date, so be sure to check that out. Now, they do also buy games from you. They have a great, easy-to-use system over there, so go check that out as well. And then, of course, if you're looking to trade games, they have a very cool system for that. If you have a Board Game Geek account and you've set up a trade list on Board Game Geek, as many of us have, you then can take your Board Game Geek username, drop it into Board Game Co. He will compare, or the website compares your trade list with their stock and builds a custom trade list right there on their website. Makes it very easy to facilitate a trade. I definitely recommend it. If you do go over there, click on the link in the description below so they know I sent you over there. Board Game Co. makes it easy to buy, sell, and trade your way into a better collection. Okay, so we're going to get into our list. Now, of course, as always, we do every list by the minute. So we're covering 10 games here. So it'll be a 10-minute list starting right now. All right, so number 30 is Pandemic. Just plain old original Pandemic. This is obviously, it's a modern classic. It's been around for a long time. It is, there's 4 different diseases kind of rampaging across the earth. You are one of a team, and up to 4 people can play. So you can have 4 different members of this team trying to get these diseases under control. In the game, you're going to try to find the cure, and then maybe if you get lucky, you'll even eradicate it, but that's not necessary to win. You're just trying to find a cure for all 4 diseases. You do this by collecting cards. Essentially, there's a set collection aspect here where you need to collect, the diseases are each of a different color, and so you got to collect 5 cards of that color and then discard those cards at a location that has essentially the CDC. And once you get all 4 of the diseases cured, you win the game. But there's a lot of traps that kind of get thrown in your way, outbreaks and stuff like that. A lot of fun. That's Pandemic. Number 29 is Dawn of Peacemakers. Now, this is a campaign I definitely need to finish up. This is a very unique game where there's a war between these two, I believe it's 2 different factions. That's kind of a spoilery thing there. So we'll just say 2 different factions. And you are not part of either faction. You want to end the conflict. Now, unfortunately, though, they're well past talking. So the only way you can end the conflict without one side conquering the other is by making sure that the losses are kind of kept even on both sides. So you're actually going to be going kind of back and forth across this battlefield, kind of nudging them in different directions, trying to make sure that both of their morales decrease at an equal rate until they finally kind of call that battle off for the day or whatever. And if you can do that enough throughout the campaign, then you will win. Supposedly, I haven't made it to the end of the campaign, like I said. That's Dawn of Peacemakers. Number 28 is the 7th Continent. This one has fallen a decent amount for me. I really, really like it a lot. I'm starting to wonder if maybe I found some other games, Sleeping Gods, that do have enough of the same feel. Actually, Sleeping Gods and then Tainted Grail. Those 2 games combined kind of take all the best parts of the 7th Continent. But it has this vast adventuring feel that is a lot of fun. And I do want to go through and play the other 2 curses that I haven't played yet. I've only played 2 of the curses. I haven't beaten any of them. Very, very difficult game to win. but it definitely rewards repeat plays as you become familiar with the continent, because the continent is the same every time. It's modular, but not randomly modular. So every time you play, the continent gets laid out in the same way as you explore, but you're trying to do different things each time, and you're collecting items, you're building items, you're taking different actions, you're hunting for food, you're healing, and your action deck is also your health, so you have to be careful how fast you go through it. That's the 7th continent. Number 27 is On Mars. Now, this is one that I've only played once, but it has stuck in my head, and I really, really, really want to play it again. I don't own it, so it's, obviously not something I get to the table real easy, but you are colonizing Mars, you and the other players. It's not cooperative. You are each, trying to be the best colonist, I suppose. You're scoring victory points, but there's this really cool mechanism where you need to go off planet to, I can't remember if it's a space station or just a ship bringing supplies or what it is, but you have to time it because the shuttle to get off planet only happens every so often. So if you try to get different items and you need to be on that shuttle, you have to time it perfectly, and that timing is so integral to winning the game and making sure you have everything you need. It's a lot of fun. That's On Mars. Number 26 is Star Wars Imperial Assault. This one is another one where I've started focusing on my campaign games, trying to get through them. This is one that I need to focus on and get through it, because the app provided a solo experience with a campaign that was a lot of fun, and then other stuff got in the way. Lots of dice rolling. You're playing as the rebellion in this. This happens, I want to say, in between episode 5 and 6, or it might be immediately following episode 6. I can't remember exactly. But you run into all kinds of different Imperial forces that you're dealing with. And in fact, I'm pretty positive it can't be after 6 because the Empire is still a thing. But you have ATSTs that you run into, and you have an actual ATST mini that's on the board, and it's a modular board. And as you go through the campaign, your characters level up. Really, really cool. Star Wars Imperial Assault. Number 25 is Terra Mystica. This is another one that I've only played once, but it really made an impression on me. And you have this just massively complex game that once, right by the end of that first game, it started clicking, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And I was able to figure out these different things that were going on that I was trying to do. And of course, I got crushed. I was playing against some seasoned players who were helping me learn the game, but it was just an absolute blast. And it's even hard for me to really wrap my head around how to describe it to you, other than you are a faction and you are actually trying to terraform the planet you're on. I mean, the world you're on, basically. But it's like on a local level. You're trying to change these different terrains to the terrain that's most favorable to you. And there's all these different fantasy factions that you can play as, but it's pretty abstracted. There is some theme in there, pretty abstracted, but that's Terra Mystica. Number 24 is Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. Love this game. This game is so cool. Such a great story. I have all the expansions. I'm waiting to break them out to even try them until I can really just power through them all at once. I want to get some other campaign games done first, but this is a dark take on the Arthurian legend. And there's this stuff called the weirdness that is encroaching on the settlements, and the humans are dying out basically in Avalon, and there's no heroes left. All of the heroes this is hundreds of years past when Arthur was alive. All the heroes that you had went out to try to stop what was going on, and they all disappeared and or died. And so now it's left to you, and you're like the D team. You're not even close to a hero, and you got to go out and save the day. Very, very interesting combat mechanism and diplomacy mechanism. Check out my review of this if you want to see more. Number 23 is Paladins of the West Kingdom. This is a game from Garfield Games, the same publisher that brought us Hadrian's Wall. And this is one of those games that's so crunchy, because when you first try to figure out how you're going to do anything, well, to do this, I need to do this, but to do that, I got to do this over here. And to do that, I have to do this other thing over here. And that's how your brain is operating the whole time you're playing this game. You are constantly trying to figure out the right spot to kind of squeeze in to get your machine working, to get your engine working. And then once you get it working, then it starts running real smoothly. Super crunchy game, and really I should play a solo game of that on the channel at some point. Number 22 is Pax Pamir 2nd edition. So this is the first new game on the list, first game that wasn't here prior, and this one is basically you have 3 factions in Afghanistan. You have the Afghani people, you have the Russians and the British, and your job is to kind of get the favor or figure out which faction you're going to back, and essentially you're kind of betting on the factions, not betting, but like you're trying to decide where are you going to land, like which one of these factions is it most advantageous for you to promote, for you to help succeed in order to set you up and have victory points, but to set you up as the victorious person in the region. And as you play that, you might be focusing on one faction, and then the tide's turning. You realize, oh, time to switch my allegiances, and you go to a different faction. Really, really cool dynamics in this one. Number 21, and the last one for the day, also brand new to the list, Beyond the Sun. This is, as many people have said, Tech Tree the game. This is the board is a technology tree, and you are just trying to make it, deep enough onto the technology tree to be the one who is victorious at the end of the game. If I remember correctly, you have some personal goals and everything as well. But as you go through this technology tree and you're discovering, researching different technologies and stuff, like when you get deep into the technology tree, there are some really cool things that happen. And seeing how they link up and how, this technology might just link to one other, but then, that one might link to 2 different, like it does this branching thing that is really, really cool. And if you like technology trees in games and all you can think is, man, I just wish I could do that more often, that's what this is. I mean, Beyond the Sun is to technology trees what Role Player was to creating a character for D&D. I really, really enjoyed this one. Another one I don't have. I need to get, in fact, let me see. Out of this 10, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it just 4? So four of the ones on this 10 I don't own. But they've obviously made an impression on me. So thank you for watching this. I hope you enjoy this. Be sure to come back for our 3rd part covering 20 to 11. And until next time, if you're bored online, board offline.